There's an older elf named Kraft in Frieren Beyond Journey's End who experienced a dramatic conversion from atheism toward a life as a monk who worships the goddess. And he underwent this conversion precisely because he is an elf. And so he has survived so many generations of human beings that there is no one left who can recall the deeds of his past, even though he was once a hero of the same stature as Frieren. And this has produced a feeling of unbearable loneliness inside of Kraft, because he was forced to watch as the meaning of his life and actions slowly faded from the world until they disappeared without a trace. And that is why he eventually turned to the goddess and devoted himself to her worship. Her religion promised to save Kraft from his loneliness, because the immortal goddess could still bear witness to the total sum of his life, and welcome him after death, and offer him recognition and friendship in exchange for all the great heroic deeds that history had forgotten. And there's an interesting episode where Kraft shares this story with Frieren, and then he offers to listen to the tale of her life, so that he can cure her of the loneliness that she must also feel as an elf with many centuries of forgotten deeds. But Frieren declines this invitation because she does not need this cure. She has already shared her story with her friend Heiter, and although Heiter is now dead, his recognition and praise of her ancient life was enough to satisfy Frieren. And this really marks a difference between Frieren and Kraft. Frieren does not require the goddess at this stage of her life in the way that Kraft does, because she lives by a principle of friendship, wherein she carries her friends into the future. Frieren finds a way to live with her friends after they die. So for example, Frieren carries Heiter into the future through the medium of Fern. Fern is the living embodiment of their friendship and indeed of Heiter's admiration for Frieren's long heroic life. For Heiter raised Fern in imitation of the way that Flamma raised Frieren, by teaching Fern to suppress her own mana. And he did this to commemorate the day on which he urged Frieren to tell him about her life. Fern is the vessel through which he passes on the wisdom that he acquired on that day. And that is the reason why Frieren does not require the goddess. Heiter already occupies the role of the divinity, and Frieren can carry Heiter into the future for as long as Fern lives. And as time goes on, Frieren will surely find some other way to carry Fern.